So are you waiting to walk the Camino? Maybe it's your first one and you're all excited, but you can't go yet. What do you do while you're waiting to actually get out there and walk your Camino? That's what we're going to talk about this week. So maybe you're waiting to go and walk your first Camino, or you're like me, a bit of an addict, and you're waiting to get out on an additional Camino. I'm waiting to start number 4. And for a lot of us still around the world, it's a little bit frustrating because COVID is still limiting access to countries, to the Camino. For those who live in Europe, I know quite a few are walking already, which is great, but I'm in Australia and it's going to be next year at least before I can actually fly anywhere internationally. Getting to Spain, who knows? So I'm planning for 2022, maybe 2023. But what do you do while you're waiting? How do you keep the spirit of the Camino alive? How do you keep your enthusiasm alive? Well, there's lots of things you can do. So what have I been doing over the last 18 months? Lots of stuff. Let me give you some ideas. If you're champing at the bit, waiting to get out on your Camino, have you tried all of this? Getting fit is a good thing to do. You don't have to be super fit to walk a Camino. You'll find videos on all of these topics on this channel, by the way. You don't have to be super fit to walk a Camino, but just improving your general standard fitness is really a good thing. You know, improving your core, getting out and walking a bit, you know, all of that's going to pay dividends really when you finally get out there and walk your Camino. So think about that. Don't go nuts. You don't want to injure yourself in training, but just try and lift maybe your general fitness if it's not that great. One of the things that I've been working on is losing weight. If you've been on this channel at all, you'll know that I've had significant weight problems walking Caminos in the past, walking overweight, injuring myself and so on. So I have promised myself that on my next Camino, I will try to be as normal a weight as possible. So I've been yo-yoing a bit, but the trend is coming down, and I certainly am being much more careful about what I'm eating because I really want to enjoy my next Camino. And if I'm walking overweight, that kind of detracts from it all. It's because I know my joints are going to hurt and I'm going to get injured. So losing weight is another good thing. Research, particularly if you haven't walked a Camino before, I would really suggest doing a lot of research. So on my first one in 2015, I didn't kind of do an awful lot of research. I was just, you know, full of enthusiasm. I was eager to start and I just got out there and I loved it, but I probably missed out on a few things because I didn't know they were there or didn't know what was available. So research will always pay off. How do you research? One of the best research resources around, particularly for English language speakers, is Ivar's forum. Ivar, if you don't know his forum, I'll put a link down below the video. Lots and lots of people are on that forum. Lots of newbie pilgrims planning their first one, lots of old-timers. It's a really great community where people ask questions and share knowledge and just general chit-chat. So that's a great place to do some research. Other places, really, you know, other people's blogs. I've actually got a fairly comprehensive blog. I'll put a link to that down below. Lots and lots of YouTube videos, guidebooks. I mean, I've got about a dozen on the table in front of me. They come in all shapes and sizes. I mean, this is the Village to Village guidebook of the Camino Frances. I know a popular series of guidebooks is the Cicerone series. These are always good because they give you lots of tips about the route itself, you know, the things that you're going to see along there. I'm planning the Via de la Plata next time, so this is one from Wise Pilgrim. I've got a couple of his. Thank you, Michael, I think your name is. I've got loads and loads by Mr. Brearley. I love his guides. So I'm thinking of doing the Invierno and the Sanabres, so I've got that one to read. The Ingles I'll probably do at some point. I've got this one, which is Sarria to Santiago, but I got it because it's got the bit that goes on to Finisterre. What else have I got? This one's the Portuguese, which I'll probably get around to at some point. This is a hefty one. This is another Cicerone one. I'm not sure I would carry this with me, but part of it is a map book, and then there's the guidebook. So lots of guidebooks, and again, I'll put the link down below to Ivar's forum. I get all of these guidebooks from his forum. He has a shop on the forum. So researching is really good. Why do I research? Because I know, I mean, I've walked the Camino Frances 3 times. I'm really only getting to the point where I kind of know all the good things to look at along the way. Last time, for example, when I walked with Pat in 2018, we took that little detour after Pamplona. You go down into Uterga, and we went off to, I knew this was going to happen, I've forgotten the name of it. What's that old Templar church? Unate. We did that detour over to Unate, and that was great. And then you end up heading down to Puente Lorena after that, I think. So yeah, and there's still places that I haven't sort of had a look at because I didn't realise it was just off the path, you know. So research is always really good. You can plan your next Camino. A word of warning, don't overplan. I think generally people find that sometimes if they have overplanned, they either feel kind of burdened by the plan and that they've got to stick to it and they struggle to stick to it, or conversely, they just throw the plan away on day one. That kind of tends to be me. I love the planning process because it encourages me to look at the different places I'm going to pass through, and I'm looking at different accommodation options, and I'm thinking, oh wow, you know, I must stay there. So the planning is lots of fun. Planning what I'm going to take, of course. So I've got a video on here about my packing list where I actually show you exactly what went into the pack. So that's always a great debate, packing lists. I'll put the link to that one down below. So there's lots and lots of stuff that you can do. Planning. I was planning my budget this morning. I actually have a Euro bank account, and I put spare money into that. So I'm gradually building up, you know, enough for my Camino budget. Given the delays with COVID, I think I've probably put enough in for my next 2 Caminos so far. So planning is always a good thing to be doing. Chatting Camino. What you'll find, if you have never walked a Camino before, after your first one, you just want to talk to everybody about it, and they're soon going to get bored of hearing it. You know what it's like. So if someone has had a new experience which you have no experience of, and all they want to do is talk about it, it kind of gets boring pretty quickly. So that's another good reason to get onto Ivar's forum, because that's kind of where we all congregate. All the people who want to chat Camino and whose friends and relatives really don't want to, we can get onto the forum and chat there. And there's some amazing things been happening on the forum where people have done virtual Caminos where, you know, they've literally sort of said, oh, I'm going to walk from here to here virtually. And they go through the guidebooks and various things, and they work out, you know, today we would have walked this far and we would have stayed in this place. They get a lot of attention. Actually, I found them really interesting because people who have walked those routes then chip in, you know, oh yes, that's a great place to stay, or, you know, that's a great place to eat. So it's a really interesting way to share experiences. So chatting about Caminos is always a good way to sort of keep the spirit of it alive. You know, movies, there's quite a few movies out there on the Camino. I'll put a link down below to a couple of my favorites. I'll give a shout out for Overlander TV. He's kind of a professional travel videographer. And I have to say one of his videos had a significant influence on me walking my first Camino. It was really, really good. And Hank Luhart, love Luhart. I love your videos, so I'll put a link down below to one of those as well. So there's some great videos out there to watch. So how do you keep the dream alive? You know, if you haven't walked a Camino before, how do you sort of keep that spirit going? What are you doing to sort of maintain your interest? It shouldn't be that hard, I don't think. It's probably harder for those who've walked before and you've had to delay your next Camino for a year or 2 years or 3 years, and that anticipation is turning maybe to frustration. So what are you doing to keep yourself sane and ready for your next Camino? So there we go. What do you do while you're waiting? That's what I do. I try to watch my weight. I'm trying to get fit. I'm doing lots of research. A great website, of course, for research is Gronza, so I'll put that down below as well. But there's lots of Camino-related stuff that you can be doing while you're waiting. Love to hear what you do while you're waiting in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. See you next time.